Hi everybody, welcome back. This is part 4 of the Polaris 700 drivetrain rebuild. And as you can see, I've got the front end up, ready to go, and that's what we're going to tear into next. So we already have one of the 2 drive shafts out. The second one is going to come out right now. Alright, so stick with it. Alright everybody, so I got the front apart, and I'm sorry that it was such a long time lapse, but these front axles really were in there, and I'll show you why in a minute. But it was definitely a battle to get them out, and again, you're going to see some specialty tools being used, and you're also going to see just why I love winches. And I wish I would have had it in real time for you, but I was already well into it and I wasn't going to stop. So yeah, it was interesting. But here is why. Now we live up in northern Minnesota, and our worst enemy is rust. And that is why I had such a problem pulling these out. They just have these snap rings just like the back. These are even smaller, so really it should have just popped right out. And unfortunately I had to go, first I tried a slide hammer, that didn't work, and I had to resort to winch power to pull these out. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of rust on them. And then here is the one that had the failure. You already saw the one part of that shaft, but that is all that's left of that U-joint. Yeah, pretty awesome. Not really. Okay, so I took the entire shock assembly out so that I can press those bearings out like we did in the back, except they're a little bit smaller. And then you can see I got the new axles laid out. You can see not a real difference between the two, the new and the old. This has a grease zerk to be able to grease the U-joint. This one does as well. I'm guessing it's pre-greased, but I'm probably going to give it just a little crack of grease to make sure when we install. And then nothing really to note on the front hubs. The only real difference between the two, and it's not even a difference, it's just this side has the brake, This side has the brake and the speedometer that rides against the back of it. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get these bearings pressed out, get these front hubs cleaned up a little bit, and then press the new ones back in. We're going to put the new front drive shafts in, and then we're going to discard these piles of garbage. All right. Okay, first one's in the press, ready to come out. And that one's out. All right, we got both bearings pressed out. And again, you can see our old friend rust was in there causing trouble. First one came out very easy. Second one fought me quite a bit, but it finally came out. Again, these weren't terrible. They're still in pretty good shape, but again, we're going to replace them anyway. And you can compare and contrast the new to the old. Next up, put the new ones in. And we're bottomed. All right. Okay. And then just like last time, retaining rings go back in. We have front axle installed. I put the hub and shock back in. I've got everything just loose fit, and I already did the other side, so hopefully this goes as smooth as that side did. But we're going to start at the top, get everything squared away, work our way down, make sure we get everything put back together, and we'll do it step by step here so that you get an opportunity to see it. So first of all, there's a nut on the top of this shock, and there's part of the strut arm that sticks through the nut so that you can get a wrench on it. So it's a 3/4 inch nut. Okay, you won't be able to see it, but we put the wrench over it, and right now it turns, and even turns the spring, but then you put the other wrench over the top of it on that octagon strut, and then you can get some leverage to tighten it up. There we go. Close this down a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Now, the brake line is held on with a bolt that runs through here. Thread through here. The brake goes behind the tie rod. That goes on. Okay, and we'll tighten that up in a minute. Next, the lower castle nut on the lower ball joint has to get tightened. Okay. Now the tie rod end. That's the bottom. Snug it up with the gun. Right to there. And then this has a 44 foot-pounds of torque specification to it. There it is. Okay. And then also gets a cotter pin. Okay. Keeps that backing off. All right. Top's done, bottom's done, tie rod end is done. Now we're going to go ahead and back this castle nut off, which I have found has been a bit of a pain. Clean the threads out before they put those on or something. Don't like it coming off that hard. I think they drill these holes after they put those nuts on, and then they don't ever clean up those threads. Okay, go ahead and put our hub on. Yeah, that went in pretty happily. Go to 80 foot-pounds. Which apparently I already set it to. No, looking at the wrong side. There we go. All right. There's 80 foot-pounds. And I think I can get the key in that hole. Ooh. That one's completely covered. Yeah. I don't know if it'll go all the way or not. I think it will. I'll get it started anyway. Make for a good solid lock there. Okay, just like that, this officially has a front axle for the first time since December. That's good. Now we finished with the brake. On these front brakes, there is a little set screw in the back that has to come out. That allows for this pin to travel far enough back to be able to slide the brakes on. But I have to push this cylinder back in before we do anything else. Okay, that's in. New brake pads. Okay, then once they're both on, run the set screw back in. That's what it looks like reassembled. And now that keys or that set screw is in the back, the brake can't pass past that point. And then back these out. And slide it into place. This one's a little tougher than the other side because it's got that. Okay, that does it. Now the next step is we have to check these front brakes and make sure that they both function, make sure that we have fluid in the reservoir. And to do that, I'm going to need an extra pair of hands. Hold on. Okay, so unlike the back brake, there really isn't much daylight on these pads. They're nice and tight. So again, we're just going to break open the bleeder. My wrench wants to work.
Maybe.
Okay, go ahead and give it a squeeze. Oh, stop. I can always edit it out. Squeeze it again. Okay, so the brakes are done. They bled out, fronts, rears. You got nice brake power there. It feels really good. The only thing left to do now is finish putting the front tires on. And it's getting to be later in the evening. I've got a whole bench full of garbage to clean up, but knowing me, once I get those on, I'm not going to be able to help myself. I'm going to have to take it for a drive. But we got to get them on first. Okay, front end is done, and what a difference. Tire size went from 25s to 28s. Very different stance, very different look. And I did see Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Now that we're done with the drivetrain, we're going to move on to getting the box mounted on the back, getting the hand warmers and electrical and stuff done. That'll probably be an episode, maybe 2, and then we'll finally be able to wrap this project up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy it, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.